Hi there, welcome back. So, I don't know about you, but sometimes you might be feeling a little bit achy. And although you might want to do some yoga, you don't really fancy the starting on the floor, working your way up to standing, and then moving up and down between floor postures and standing postures. If that's you, I understand completely how you feel. Sometimes my back just does not want to move, but I still want to introduce some yoga into my day. So what I have decided to do is two videos. One video is going to be 15 minutes of standing postures, and the other video, yep, you guessed it, 15 minutes of seated and floor postures. So if your back isn't feeling up to moving between the two areas, then this is perfect for you. You can either do them separately, or of course you can link both of the sequences together to make a longer sequence for yourself, depending on how you're feeling on that particular day. And just as we would if we were beginning a practice on the floor, seated or lying down, we're going to focus on the breath to begin with. Coming into a pose called mountain pose. So we're going to plant our feet just underneath our hips, or whatever feels comfortable for you really. Maybe turning the palms face forward, or maybe even resting one hand on the belly and one hand on your heart or on your chest, just so that you become tuned into your way of breathing, making sure that you're feeling that belly expand and rise as you breathe in and fall as you exhale. Maybe even closing your eyes. If your balance is feeling a little bit wobbly, then obviously keep your eyes open and just focus your gaze to a point in front of you. So taking a deep breath in through the nose, feeling the expansion of the belly, keeping the shoulders dropped, trying to soften the muscles around the face. And as you exhale, just feel that belly button returning back towards the spine. We start our practice by focusing on the breath just to bring ourselves into the present moment. It's just a way of tuning everything out for a second, being present, being aware, taking this time to focus on purely the inhale and the exhale, allowing your thoughts to just drift on past, trying not to grip hold of your thoughts and trying not to grip hold of your muscles as well. So just taking a few more breaths here. And then drawing your attention to where your weight is placed underneath your feet. Can you feel the floor under your big toe, under your little toes, under the center point of your heel? Do you find yourself rocking more to the right or to the left? And then just see if you can try and center your weight. And as you root your feet down to the earth, so you can feel yourself growing a little bit through your spine, always trying to soften those shoulders. They have a tendency to sneak up around the ears. Try and shrug them down. Find some softness within your breath and within your movement. If you have your eyes closed, let's flutter those eyelids open now. Maybe even wiggling the toes a little bit, planting the feet once more underneath the hips. We're going to transfer the weight into our right foot and we're going to lift our left knee up. So a little bit of a balance. See if we can take a hold of that leg just around the front of the shin. Standing tall here. Now you might want to lean against a wall. I have a handy wall behind me because what we are trying to achieve in this posture is, balance, but also working on just bringing a little bit of stretch into this part of the body here, into the front of the hip. It's exactly the same pose that we do lying down. We're just doing it standing up. So just draw that knee in, maybe making some circles with the ankle here. And again, we've got that wall behind us. If we don't feel totally stable, then we can use that wall. So we're still getting a stretch down the front of the hip, moving into the ankle, but we're not worrying too much about wobbling. Let's release that left foot to the floor. Come on to the other side. Remember, one side's always different to the other, so don't get too hung up about making the exact same movement on one side or finding the balance. Be aware in these balance poses, especially when you're holding your breath, because you're trying hard to get into the posture, and sometimes we just forget about the breathing. So as we breathe in, notice how we feel, and as we exhale, you may be able to draw that knee in a little bit closer. It might be quite happy just being a little bit further away from you. And then just releasing that right foot down towards the earth here. Returning always between these postures back into our foundation, our Tadasana, our mountain pose. And if you want to at any point, just closing the eyes and taking a few breaths here, entirely up to you. Okay, so we're going to take a wide step on our mat now. So all 10 toes are facing the long edge. And for the sequence, we are pretty much going to stay facing the long edge before we move into the postures. It just makes life a little bit easier, not so much moving between the postures. Don't think you're not working hard though, just holding these postures and focusing on the muscles that you are using and returning to the breath. You are working super hard. Okay, so we're going to start off in a lovely warrior pose. We are going to turn our right foot to face the short edge of the mat, and we're going to keep our left foot facing that long edge. So a nice wide distance between the feet, and then we introduce a bend into our right knee as we lift the arms up to shoulder height. Again, shrugging those shoulders back and down, squeezing this glute on the left-hand side as well, drawing the belly in. And as the feet root to the earth, so we feel we are growing through our body. Take a little look over your left shoulder just to see that the left arm and the right arm are roughly in line with each other. And if we hold this pose for about 5 breaths, you will begin to feel it. You're rooting down through the floor, you're pushing into both feet equally. You're extending your arms forwards and backwards here. On your next breath, we're going to keep these legs exactly where they are and just flip that right palm. And as we exhale, we're going to take it behind us. So the left arm just drops down the left leg and we reach that right arm up. Just come to as far as you feel comfortable. Be aware of this right knee. Keep that deep bend in that right knee if you can. And then as we exhale, we draw it back through our warrior two. We're going to keep the arms where they are, so you might be feeling it in the arms soon. What we're going to do is straighten that front leg, turn those toes back to face the long edge of the mat, and then just come on to the opposite side. So we turn our left foot to face the short edge of the mat. We take a breath in and lengthen, and we exhale, sinking it down into our warrior on this side. Again, just checking over that back shoulder, seeing those arms are in the right place, keeping the knee out towards the small toe if we can. Deep breath in, long breath out. And then we turn the palm of our left hand and we reach it up and behind us, coming into this reverse warrior posture, just sliding that right hand down the back of the leg. So we're just moving the upper part of our body, keeping the legs where they are as we move it slowly back through our warrior two. Straightening that front leg now and returning the toes to face the long edge of the mat. I'm going to give you an option here. You can continue to reach these arms forwards and backwards, or if you're feeling a little bit tired, maybe have a rest and shrug those shoulders back and down. Turning our right foot once more to face the short edge of the mat. Heel toeing the back foot in a little bit. You want to feel your foundation is strong before you move your upper body into a position. So as long as your feet are in a position where you feel stable, then that is the right position for you. So this next pose, triangle, I always draw my feet in a little bit closer. I just feel slightly more secure in my foundation. So we have 2 straight legs and 2 straight arms, and we reach the body forward. We keep those legs straight. They stay in this position, coming as far forward as we can, and then slowly as we turn the palms forward, so we rotate over, extending our top arm towards the ceiling and our bottom arm towards the floor. So in this pose, Really be aware of how your neck feels. You might want to turn your gaze forward or even down to the earth. And this top arm may be more comfortable wrapped behind the back as well. Bring a bend into that front knee. Push yourself up. Maybe keeping the arms up at shoulder height, and all we're going to do is pivot on those heels. Turning the opposite way, so our left foot is forward. We inhale, we find some length through our torso, and as we exhale, we rotate over, finding our triangle on this side, listening to your body, listening to if it's feeling a little bit stiff or you're not moving as smoothly as you want to, and just try and relax into your breathing. Again, we can take this top arm behind you if that feels a better place to be. And we can also take that gaze down towards the floor if the neck's feeling a little bit stiff. Let's bring a bend into that left knee. Now push yourself up. We turn those toes to face the front edge of our mat. Now, if you have the energy, you can hop those feet together, or you can do a little shimmy and heel toe together until we have our feet underneath our hips once more in our mountain pose. Let's find a balance in tree. We're going to bring that weight into our right foot. We're going to take our left foot, either have our heel to the ankle, our foot on the calf. Remember, avoid that knee joint. Really handy shelf, but we don't want to rest the foot there. Or we can take the foot onto the inner thigh. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Now, wherever your foot is on your leg, if it's on your leg, on your thigh or your calf, if you push your leg into your foot and your foot into your leg, and you have your focus on a point in front of you, that may possibly assist with your balance. Don't worry if you're wobbling. Trees move and sway all the time. As long as we are rooting down through that standing leg, finding length through the body, finding lightness in our breath. Another little challenge, if you feel up to it, as we breathe in, we can lift the arms over the head. As we exhale, we can open out the branches of our tree. And as we inhale, we can draw our hands together. See if we can do this 2 more times. Move in your own breath. The inhale lifts. The exhale opens. The inhale draws you back to center. 1 more time if you can manage it. Don't worry if you fall. Not a problem. Just join us back in the posture. And then slowly coming back to center as we turn that left knee forward and drop the foot to the floor. Give that right ankle a little bit of love and attention here. It might be a little bit sore. And we come onto the opposite side. So we bring that weight into our left foot. I was going to do the same side again. That would be very tricky indeed. Now remember, just as I said in the earlier pose, that your sides of the body are completely different. So what you may have done on the other side, you don't have to do on this side. Find your tree. See, I've got my wall behind me just to help me. Find my balance. Find the breath. Root down. Rise up. Hands to heart. Steady breath. Steady focus. You can do this. Let's see if we can move the branches of our tree on this side. So we breathe in, we lift the arms. We breathe out and we open out the branches of our tree. We exhale and we draw the palms together 2 more times. Inhale, smooth movements. Exhale. Inhale. Last time, we lift the arms. We open out our branches. Draw the hands together, and as we do so, we turn that right knee forward and drop the foot to the floor, giving your left ankle a little bit of mobilization here. Returning once more to mountain. So as you can see, we don't have to transition between standing postures, seated, kneeling, down dogs, forward folds, to get a full and varied yoga practice, as long as we are focusing on the breath, listening to our body, moving with real mindfulness and focusing on the muscles that we are using, the breath that we are taking, then we are practicing yoga. To finish the class, we're just going to finish exactly the same way as we started. We're going to come back into our mountain pose, maybe again returning hand to belly, hand to the chest, and just listening to our breathing, relaxing the shoulders, softening around the face. Just taking that deep breath in through the nose, feeling the belly rise, and as we exhale, the belly button returns to the spine. And you can feel the effects of gravity just drawing you down, drawing your feet to the floor. And you can imagine that your inhale breath is lengthening through your spine up towards the crown of your head. And you can stay here just for a few breaths. You can even come down onto a chair if you want to, if you find that more comfortable to finish your class. But I hope you enjoyed that. I will link the other class, the seated postures, in the description. And then if you want to, you can either join the two together or do them separately. I will see you on the mat again very soon. Namaste.